What is the greatest thing I could share around living with heart? And it keeps coming back to trusting yourself. And before that, being able to trust yourself part, you actually have to know yourself. And so that takes curiosity and contemplation, recognizing patterns, being really intentional in moments to understand what it's like to experience life as you. What does it feel like to experience the outdoors, the indoors? What does it feel like to watch certain things and read certain things? What does it feel like to eat and drink certain things and be with certain people? What is all of that sharing back to you about who you are? In my experience, when we start down that path of being really curious, it opens up increased sensitivity in ways of perceiving the subtlety of things. And in that perception, we're developing a relationship with our own internal being, our own soul, through our own heart. An example of this for me was I visited the area that I have lived in now for just over 20 years, and probably about 5 years prior to that I was in this area visiting, and I just got a sensation, a knowing, that I had to pay a bit more attention to this area, and that's all I got. But I recognized it, and in the recognizing of that, it's almost as if the divinity around us said, cool, you've noticed. And so when someone came into my life several years later who lived in this area, I paid attention. And so the recognizing of how my heart perceives and communicates with me allowed me to be open to the breadcrumbs that came after that and to follow them if I wanted to. And so I did. And long story short, I ended up marrying the person and shifting to this area. So it's really interesting how we are being a receptor to our experience, but we have to become really curious about self in order to start noticing the subtle and the ways in which our experience is communicating the subtle things, so that in that noticing, depths can be explored, depths that are not obvious when we're just skipping along at the surface level of things. I have an empowerment series on my YouTube channel. There are 2 parts to that series at the moment. I wait to get nudged to create. There could be more coming, but those really start to open a door to that exploration of self. I also contributed to a book a couple of years ago, a book of channelings, channeled messages from the spiritual realms to help us all through these times, through through these moments or days or months or years that can actually feel really weird and really different. And I will leave a link to that book below if that's of interest to you as well. So, in order to live with heart, I really encourage you, as a first step, to get really curious about who you are by making yourself the priority in your life, so that through that knowing you can start to build some trust in yourself and notice a whole lot more about yourself and about the experiences that you have, and allow that to unfurl you and grow you and expand you and thrill you. It has been, in every moment, a more and more wondrous and magical experience the more curious that I've become for my own experience. And I wish everyone could experience that magic, and the only way to do that is taking that journey with yourself. So take this as a nudge if it's something that you've been pondering. Now's the moment. Don't delay it any longer. See what you can discover about yourself and the magic that's at play around you all the time. All the best on your journey, until I am inspired to share some of mine with you next. Much love, everybody.